Assalamu alaikum everyone. It's 1:11 a.m. Thursday night, and tomorrow is Friday congregational prayer, also known as Jummah. And I just wanted to say tomorrow is 9/9, the gate, the portal for twin flames, and I expect really wonderful results. I just wanted to share that ahead. And a few more things I wanted to say about my thoughts. See, the man I mentioned in the previous video, young man that I mentioned, let's just call it Sacral Guy. That's what I call him. I mean, I cannot mention his name, although even his name was one of the confirmations, the signs for me, because his name means the mercy of Allah. The root of his name means mercy of Allah. So I had a huge sense that that whole thing was under Allah's mercy and was the right thing to do, to go with the flow. So anyway, I wanted just to share something interesting that I learned about relationships in general, not twin flame relationships, but the relationships besides twin flame relationships, which helps us to compare and see how great and wonderful twin flame relationships are, even if they look and they seem so hard. It's all about our perspective, how hard it looks, because the regular relationships are much harder. Hey, beautiful and lovely, loving souls out there. It's Friday night. I was praying today at the local mosque, and something new came up. I just wanted to share, and I wanted to tell you something about the insights that I had this week. And thank you all for beautiful comments last time. You are so beautiful, all of you. You are so amazing that you're not just regular people. You really are special. Just a gift of love, just a gift of your heart that you have, that God has put in you, is enough to make you amazing people as you are, and I hope you all know that. So today, well, actually 3 days ago, I watched a couple of videos that show the reading for this week, for this weekend, and showing the feminine and masculine, what's going on with each. And I kind of follow a couple of people out there on YouTube that are kind of resonate with my energy, and what they're saying seems to be correct after the week is over, and then I recap what's going on. It seems that they're kind of, they really do have some kind of completely right guidance in some sort, whether it's channeling or whatever, whatever tools they use to get the message out, it seems to work. So anyway, not one but 3 of these girls, it was all girls, twin flame, Blu-ray, I think all of them are, and I'm grateful for Blu-rays. Myself, I'm an indigo twin flame. Is that all 3 of them had similar messages for me, and they said you need self-employment, you need to work on your career, you need to get your projects done. And that is exactly what's going on with me right now. I have a venue on my mind. I have several things that I do, but now I want to do something very special. And also, I want to I want to do a business that will include, the business itself is not going to be just like a spiritual this or light worker, but I will be there. So I will include healing to just into the, like, include it in the business. Interaction with people will create the healing for others and spreading messages of love and peace, and just I want people when they come to my venue to feel better after they leave. So sort of like a daily vacation, soul vacation. And I don't like to call myself, well, I do, but I mean, everybody calls themselves light workers, and I like to say I am the light worker, because I like to make people feel delight, which is another word for joy, again, and peace, and everybody's missing that. So anyway, I was being encouraged in these days to pursue that, and on the other hand, two of the girls said, twin flame, the masculine, is he has something about celebration, and that always freaks me out, always, because my twin flame is from Indian subcontinent. Their life is not Bollywood on a daily basis. They're hardworking people, and they have a lot of issues themselves. They're humans like everyone else. But they do have Bollywood once in a while, and they do have these big ceremonies and things. And that always freaks me out, because I feel I am from Europe, and we do have our own culture and things, but I'm not so cultural in that direction of my background anymore. I kind of follow Islam, and that's what I consider my culture, which is not culture, it's faith, but I kind of use that as my direction on how to, do my everyday life and even celebrations and stuff. But anyway, I was trying to be strong today, because when I came to the mosque, someone who knows my twin flame came over and said somebody is getting married, and I told you I had purging about that. I mentioned that 2 or 3 videos ago. I had huge scare about that, and so I'm kind of now more, stronger about, like, being strong, and I know we are going to be fine, and everything is just, and I don't want to grow or attract, through law of attraction. I don't want to think in a negative way, but to attract negative karma. So I was like, who? I asked this guy who, and then surprise, he said, first cousin, my twin flame's first cousin, and they're gonna do it in another state, and everybody's going there, and that explains that the girl said he's gonna have he's gonna go to attend some celebration or something. Funny. It's not funny. I think it's still scary to me, but I'm still dealing with fear. But on the other hand, I think this is great, because I'm hoping, I put my trust in Allah, in the source, in God, in Creator, that this is leading actually to some resolution here, because some closure, because that exact cousin was the young man older than my twin flame, who was sort of introduced to me. His family was going through their own drama, like his younger brother, way younger brother, got married, love marriage. Is there any other? I mean, I know in Indian subcontinent, people for centuries have done another way of matchmaking, which is not through God, but it's a different kind of system. And then it was kind of rented later when Islam came into Indian subcontinent. It was just transferred into Islam as well, and so it's a perfectly normal thing which is one of the things that scares me. But on the other hand, I'm not the only one who is trying to share awareness that that's not. I mean, it might have worked for the previous generations. Things were different. We didn't live in a global village. Everybody had their own nation and lived in their own country, and they didn't interact with other people. Now we're all mixed up. Now, and God says in the Quran that He created us different so that we get to know each other. That's another way of putting it. That even twin flames seem to be from different countries. Not always, but if they're not from different countries, there's something that is a barrier, something that is separation point for them, which needs to be. It's like a wall that needs to be broken down. It's like that Pink Floyd song. This is, it talks about breaking the wall, the social walls, the traditional walls, and things that are breaking us apart. So this whole new era of twin flames has to do with that too. So we can get to show the world that love breaks all the barriers, and so that's why I'm being so strong in this whole thing, because I know God is the one who can make anything happen and make anything possible. So I'm trying not to be afraid, because I'm human, and my ego is still. You can never completely destroy your ego. So ego is always giving you warning signs, but on the other hand, I have this blind faith and trust in God that everything works great. And I also had messages this week that all is well, all is well. It was completely, because I was scared. What celebration? Where is he? Why would he go to celebration? I always get scared around that, because I'm not included in their traditional things. Sometimes I'm invited to things, but not always, because let's face it, I'm not from Indian subcontinent, so sometimes maybe they feel it's more like their own thing to do, And so I was getting message through the twin flames and downloads that people had that all is well. It was like confirmation 5 times, and then not only there, but in synchronicities on the street and somewhere else. I got it like through email and stuff. Again, the phrase "all is well," and so that kept me strong until Friday. And then when I heard about this cousin, I was like, okay, Alhamdulillah, we say, all is well. It's the cousin, okay. So that explains that he will go there and be part of that. And that explains the celebration reading. And then I realized that this cousin was the man that was, okay, so when the cousin's brother, the other cousin, got married very young, not too young, just like at the right time. It was love marriage, and she's from the same country that I'm from, but their relationship was quick. And, I mean, they got married quickly, and I think it was different because she's not hijabi. I guess she did kind of sort of dated before that, and so she was more like it was easier to approach her, I guess. And then, but it did happen quickly, and they got married, and then his family did accept her. She's a nice girl, she comes from a nice family. That was nice. And then they liked me, and they were very delighted with her. So at that time, it was a long time ago, almost 6 years ago. At that time, they wanted another one from the same country that she's from for the older brother, and so they pointed at me, and at the other celebration, actually it was one of their celebrations, I was pulled to the side with my mother. She was there too, to be introduced to this older brother, because in their culture it seems to be that it's a shame on a family. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. That it's a shame if the younger brother gets married before the older one. So they kind of like asked him, okay, so like, let's hurry up. Let's find you someone you like. So I guess he liked me. We knew each other a little bit from the masjid, from the mosque. So they wanted to let me meet him. At that time, that was 6 years ago, I was clueless about Pakistani or Punjabi or Indian culture in general. I had no idea what that meant. I was just like, okay, they're just introducing me to some guy. I was explained later what the deal was. And as he approached me and he wanted to shake my hand, I don't shake hands. And I was like, I'm sorry, brother. And he's, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. That moment, my twin flame, he just like whooshed in and he just came between us, which was very, very uncomfortable for the other guy's, his uncle, the other guy's father, mother, brother who was there. My twin flame was not with his family there. He was invited to this event by himself. His mother and father are kind of busy people and not very social with their own community. I need some coffee here. I had a long day. And so he just came in between us, and that was the day, that was the night, actually, it was the evening. It was in a beautiful, fancy hotel, and that was the moment that I realized he was my twin flame. At that time, I didn't even know anything about the concept of twin flame. I just knew that he was that person that is my match made in heaven. And that's different feeling from having a crush on someone, which I did later think, oh, maybe it was a crush. I'll get out of, I mean, I'll get over that. What is this? It maybe, until I realized the whole concept of twin flames and information started flowing to me. Universe, Allah wanted me to find out more about that. It's like my awakening process started 6 years ago. That was that moment. And now that cousin, finally he's getting married. So I think it's good. It's like some kind of, things are happening now. I'm still scared, but I have you guys there to support my process. And I'm sharing all this not to blab about my life, but you will find bits and pieces of this similar to your story so that you can compare and just like learn, because other stories help you to put perspective on your own story, right? That's why I share. Otherwise, I just call my friend, tell her what's going on. But I want everyone to. We all need to share to find out and to think about our own, what's going on. And so, although we are all on this journey, like we each have separate story and different karmic things, and we all are on the same journey. It's like one road. We're all taking one same road, the twin flame road, and we're all kind of like a road trip. But everybody has their own emotional baggage. Everybody has their own karmic soul, and everybody has their own gifts they're carrying on the way home and on the destination towards their twin. So we share. Okay. Yeah. So that's one thing, and the other topic that I wanted to say today is, remember the previous video I talked about sacral chakra, and it seemed like I was just following the guidance I was getting through dreams and other things, but I was basically following my instinct on chakra thing, because that's what I felt. I know which chakras basically were messed up during my life, and maybe in the past. But now this week I took time to read more about chakras. I'm not a big expert on chakras, just know basics about it. But this is what I felt, and so I did read about that, and I was right. I just needed to go through different chakras, see which ones are still broken, which ones are not working, not not in a full not fully charged, so sacral, okay? So sacral was fixed, okay? It happened that way, and um, it had to happen. So this encounter that I described to you guys in the previous video, so it didn't just heal the sacral energy, and it didn't just refresh my feminine aspect, which is very important too. Everybody is talking about that. That feminine energy is going to pull this out. The whole, twin flame separation thing. It has to be the feminine energy. Really has to be pure and strong and full force in order to pull out both, masculine and feminine out of the, the masculine needs a push, but that push is not like I'm gonna call him now and I'm gonna tell him, look, you're my twin flame, you gotta be. No, it's his energy. He feels it. We feel each other. We all feel our twins, and they feel us. Even if you're not mentally aware of that, we know they. And sacral guy, I'm just gonna call him sacral guy, the guy that I was, describing in the previous video. Uh, with this interaction with him, I learned that my telepathy skills and my feeling, empathy, and feeling distant feeling of chakras and energy is real. So if it's real in the heart chakra, when it comes to my twin flame, I feel like flickering on my heart. I feel sometimes expansion, sometimes it, it narrows down and it feels like constricted. Sometimes it's breathing problems. Sometimes it's joy, happiness. It's beautiful. And I can feel like something is going on with my twin flame, or the energy, or he's sending me energy. Sometimes I feel him in my thoughts, that he's sharing the thoughts with me, not like telepathy, like full force, but special twin flame telepathy. And then I felt him in root chakra, and I felt him in like in the entire body a couple of times, like a kundalini experience. Then with the soulmate, I did not have confirmation eye to eye, face to face. He never admitted to me that he had those strong feelings that I described a few videos ago about solar plexus chakra, but his mother did kind of admit that for him. But I'm not 100%. I didn't get 100% confirmation from him. But from sacral guy, 110% confirmation that everything that I felt, that he was sending me the energy and that it was coming from him. And we actually talked in physical, and he confirmed every time. And also it was confirmed by texting me at the same time or minutes later after I feel that area like crazy and stuff. So it helped. So he helped with the feminine aspect, made me feel loved again emotionally. We all have emotional body besides light body and energy body. We have emotional body that is related to our ego. It helped me feel loved again, because my twin flame doesn't make me feel loved. Although I know it's real, it's better love than any other love in the world, but you all have that. You're dealing with that if you're not in physical with your twin flame, even if you are sometimes, they don't know, they don't, they're not very romantic sometimes. So I feel loved again, and that's important, because self-love cannot grow completely on our own. We have to have someone a little bit, push in that direction. And then the third thing is that I learned something about karmic regular correlationships to this. I don't find this relationship with sacral guy as karmic, because I think karmic relationships are those before awakening, when you're not aware and you're a different person, and then you live in karma. Like if your twin is in karmic relation, that's because twin is not awakened yet. Once they awaken, they will not be able to stand that. I don't think this was karmic, but it was fate. It happened because the process of twin flame reunion leading me towards twin flame reunion, that's for sure. God willing. But through this sacral guy really short relationship, I learned something that karmic people, regular people, are not aware of, is that you see, okay, let me explain this. A week after the young man, which I'm gonna keep calling him sacral guy, after we agreed not to see each other, he reemerged. He doesn't accept that I don't. It's not that I don't want to see him anymore. It's just I chose not to pursue this anymore because then it would become karmic. It will lead me back into karmic rut, and I don't want to go back there. And but his desire, it's still a flame, and I'm at peace within my own energy now, and my sacral chakra is fully balanced. But I actually felt again telepathy. This time more through heart chakra. Maybe he's developing feelings in his heart chakra. Maybe he's growing as a person through all this. And I felt like his higher self is texting me. You know, like that he's not aware of it yet, but he misses me, the person. He actually has some feelings for me now. So I would not call it love, but more some kind of primordial love, some kind of raw, like natural love that we all have, like without any thinking, without any complications, just like, let's say like the person very much, so you miss them, okay? And I realized that now, again, I felt a week later, I felt that he's feeling that. And again, I don't trust my own gift still. I need to work on trusting my gift more. My ego is still telling me, my mind is still telling me, you're just imagining that. Maybe it's just, I feel the sacral chakra moving again. Not mine per se. Again, energy coming, floating in from distance. It's like a phone call to the sacral chakra. Minutes later, text from him. He reemerged. He wants to see me again. I said no. I was polite, but I had to say no. This day, again, he's reemerging again. And it's teaching me something that the karmic relationships are like that. We don't know where we're headed. We just do crazy stuff, and then we get tangled in. And thank God, twin flames, no matter how hard it is, how lonely you are, thank God you don't go through that anymore. And if you do, again, you're gonna regret it. Sooner or later, maybe you're not gonna regret it per se, but you will sooner or later you're gonna have to get out of it. And it's not gonna work. And with this sacred guy, he's not in the right time. He's not in the right place. He cannot offer me marriage. He's not in position to do that right now. He really isn't. And it's my picture. It's trying to. I put the sound down. It has a sound, chirping birds, but that would interrupt me. So yeah. So he doesn't know. He's struggling with what he feels, what he wants, and what he can do and what he cannot do. Even if he the ring right now, I would be crazy to accept that. Although on the other hand, I'm losing my patience waiting for my twin for this long, and it's not losing a patience, but losing the courage to wait of what's gonna happen next day. It's so scary. It gets so scary of what's gonna happen, and we try to keep it positive, but we have days when we're just not strong enough. We lose it, right? So that's just a lot of struggle. So like, even if this guy or some other guy would show up with the ring right now, I would like do a step, not step, but all of this backwards and say, okay, yeah, let's take this and forget the whole process. And that gives me, that's no, because that would destroy everything I worked on for almost 6 years. Because if my twin flame, if that night in that hotel, if he pull his uncle to the side, which also he couldn't do, he was very young at that time. He didn't even have, he just started his school and he was not, he was not in position. I think even worse than this guy now, sacred guy, he was in a worse position. It was totally out of question. But even if he did, let's say hypothetically he did, let's say he told his uncle, talk to my dad, this girl. I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't grow spiritually so much because I was religious. I had my faith, which is great too. It's amazing. Islam is an amazing faith, especially if you study it on your own and you're not just bored into it and just follow it blindly, but if you actually like what you believe in. And it's beautiful. It has so many beautiful aspects. But this solo spiritual journey, my own spiritual journey, and twin flame teaching me so many lessons. This twin flame journey is teaching us we're going into different aspects of spirituality, learning different um, ways to view the world perspective, get into other people's shoes and see their perspective, teaching us unconditional love. Unconditional love. I unconditionally love even the sacral guy. I mean, I unconditionally love my previous relationship that messed up my sacral chakra. He's somewhere, God knows, I don't care, I don't want to know, but letting go of someone is also unconditional love. A lot of other things. I also refuse today not only date another date with sacral guy that I refused today, but I also refused to go to a huge gala, also celebration. I could have been on celebration too, but my reading this week wasn't that I was going to celebrate. My reading this week was that I was going to remodel my part of my house for the business that I want to do. And that's exactly what the universe is showing me, because I went to this store to get, I needed one more window covering, and I went to this store and then I found something amazing that I needed for my sofa that is perfectly sized. I needed 5 pillows that are perfect size, and that's exactly what I found. That's exactly what I found. Gorgeous 5 pillows that match my couch perfectly, that I'm working on. By the way, I'm building my own furniture. That's what I do. I mean, I refurbish and I do my own furniture things. This table was done by my father. He's a tile setter. He's an amazing artist. But anyway, so I refused my soulmate because I have had enough of that. One of my soulmates. I had to let her go. She did something to me last week that, it's not that I cannot forgive, but I don't want to be dragged into these dramas anymore. She creates scenes and dramas and things, and I want to have peace. I need peace for me and my soul and for my twin flame. And that was the communication chakra, the throat chakra that worked last week. I told her This is it. We are done. And she called me today, actually texted me, and she's inviting me someplace. She thinks like it worked in the past. I'd forgive her. I'd go over it. She can do it again. She will do it again. No, it's repetitive, and I don't want to do it anymore. And this other twin flame. Sorry about that. Let me fix this. Sorry. Let's turn that off. Just like other light workers said out there, we need to focus on our journey on twin flames. We cannot be completely lonely and not have any friends and kick everybody out of our life. But people that don't resonate with this journey, we have to let them go. And that's also unconditional love. We will love them from the distance. Sometimes you have to love people from the distance. So I said no to her today. I said no to Sacral Guy. He's super cute. It's not easy to say no to him. I'm a human being. I could be out tonight. It's Saturday night. I said no. And it's perfectly fine. My no is my yes to me and my yes to my twin flame and to the real love. Love, divine love. And it's divine not because we're divine. It's divine because the source implanted that love into our hearts. This love is this twin flame love is amazing. How strong does it make us? Because karmic love makes you weak, makes you lose your mind, lose your focus, lose your self, lose your, twin flame love what makes you lose your ego, and people who do not support you, and lose the job that you always hated. It makes you lose the house that you were not happy in, makes you lose the city that was getting on your nerves, and it wasn't life wasn't happening for you. It makes you lose things that are keeping you back. That's what twin flame love does. It doesn't make you lose your mind, although it seems like that sometimes, but it makes you grow, expand. I hope and I pray same is on the other side. I hope same is with my twin flame. I send him love, and I hope he has good time on that celebration he's going to. It's going to be so many beautiful chicks out there, and that's fine. If he wants to unconditionally love for a while, but wherever I am, whoever I'm with, he's always with me. I cannot stop for a moment. It's not like thinking about him. It's just like he's with me. It's like this pendant here. I mean, like this necklace, whatever you call it, chain. It's with me. My hijab is with me. My twin flame is with me. So when you're with someone else, with this sacral guy, it's just like I was present there, and as I said in the previous video, my twin flame energy told me, you're not going to believe this, but it told me that he will move away for a while so that this energy can fully come in and be fully experienced for my own good, for my own expansion and strength, and it's sort of like I'll just step back. My energy is going to step back for a minute. So I was fully present and accepting that other person for who they are. But again, even that person, I talked about my twin flame. Again, I couldn't. His energy was pulled back for a minute, for a week, for some time. But he's always in my soul. He never moved an inch from my heart. So I'm with him. I'm actually in another, maybe not now, but after Eid celebration. That's what I heard. That the ceremony is going to take place, and it's another state about 12 hours away. And I'm basically virtually or like in astral travel with him because wherever he goes, he takes me with him. I'm with him. I can feel it. And so I hope he has fun, because then if he has fun, I have fun too. Although from ego perspective, it's like, oh no, where is he? Where is he? What's going on? But from the soul perspective, I'm also there too. So just like he's with me sometimes when I'm doing this. Before I realized he was my twin flame, it was interesting that he had a company named same as the company that I was building for my father in his country. And later I realized that he named the company that also something, a small business he tried and it didn't work out for him. And a lot of, we were both going through like karmic process of going through small businesses and then losing it and trying something else and trying something else, and then being successful for a while, and then it just crashes down. And he's going through the same, but he had the company the same name before we even knew each other. It was at the same time, same timeline. And when I was planning to open a restaurant and a grill, he opened one. It's like reading my mind. And at that time, it was like 4 years ago, I was so jealous because twin flames can be jealous of each other big time until at some part of the process of twin flame journey, we are very jealous of each other. Karmic is still pulling us back, and we're like, oh, you know. So yeah, I was like, what? I had that idea. How did he come up with that? That was before I knew so much about twin flames that we do read each other's mind. He thinks it's his idea, it was my idea. It really was my idea. I had a book like this one, this thing big, where I write my ideas. And I had it written down what kind of menu I would have, what kind of things, and it was named, I had an idea it would not be called restaurant or diner, but a grill. And then when he came up with the name grill, I was like, where is he getting these ideas? Why is he stealing my ideas? The thing is, like, he's doing this for us, and he did that for us. It was like being together before together. I'm sure all of you will find yourself in this and find and draw lines someplace and say, hey, you know, we have the similar. Please contact me, comment, subscribe, because you're giving me a push further if you subscribe and like and dislike, whatever. Thank you for not disliking the previous one, because I was scared, I was petrified to make that one. I hope you like this background now. I have no idea what I'm going to do next time. Who knows? Who knows? We never know what's next day. It just reminded me of that song, Who Knows, Who Knows. I'm going to put the link to that song below. You're going to laugh. We all need to relax a little bit and laugh. And I wish you happy weekend. Maybe I will post this. Maybe I will download this by the end of the weekend. Who knows? But it's Friday night tonight, so in this timeline. That shows us the time is illusion, because if I record this now and then you're watching it on Sunday or Monday or Tuesday or next year, time means nothing, you know, especially to the divine. And the more we are moving on higher dimensions, spiritually, we're not flying on carpets or anything, we're just moving spiritually on higher dimensions. We realize also we're kind of looking from, sort of like looking from balcony and saying, timeline? Past, present? That's what the great people were talking about. That's what Einstein was talking about. There's no, like, you know, Eleanor Roosevelt said something that today people attribute to Justin Timberlake. I mean, he does sing it well. He has a nice voice. And I like the way he sings. He sings words that were actually uttered by Eleanor Roosevelt. A lot of you don't know that. She said, yesterday's history, tomorrow is mystery, and today is only what matters. That's why I call it present. The present time is Friday night. Whenever you watch this, I wish you peace, love, light. Love is inside of you. I'm right now looking, there is a sign above my door that says live, laugh, and love. And I was prompted to read that to you guys. Live, laugh, and love. Love you guys. Assalamu alaikum. See you upon you.